Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Original Dobo and today we are finally doing my Mavic Air review. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk about both sides, both positive and negative, because the negative sides are equally as important. Okay, so let's talk about the Mavic Airs. Positives, negatives, let's get it all out in the open. Let's air it out. Oh, I killed myself. Okay, so the Mavic Air, it is an incredibly tiny drone. Smaller than the Spark when it's all folded up, which is great. Problem is, a smaller drone also means a little bit harder to control in the air, especially dealing with, well, Mother Nature, right? Wind, things like that. It did pretty good, but I noticed anything above like 10 miles an hour, this thing struggled. Not only did it struggle, it had a hard time compensating. So that is going to be something you will want to consider if this is a drone for you. Positive, it's easy to travel with. You just throw it in a bag and it's ready to go. Overall build quality of the drone is great. It's actually pretty sturdy. It just feels really cheap, and that's more importantly just because it's plastic, like the cheap type of plastic. Again, I don't like the way the legs fold in, especially because it is a solid prop. There is no foldable prop on this. That's something that you want to remember when you're putting this away, because I didn't, and I've already destroyed 2 props because I folded one wrong and I left it overnight and the prop basically was deformed. What else about the Mavic Air do I like? Now this camera is the same camera that you're going to find on the Mavic Pro, except for it has a 2.8 fixed aperture, same as the Mavic Pro, right? And you're like, okay, well what's different on it? Well, shoots at 100 megabits per second 4K, which means it's got a faster read-write speed, which means you're getting crispier footage. It also has better HDR than the Mavic Pro, so you're gonna get those nice saturated highlights and beautiful lowlights. It does a really good job. I did a comparison video. You should totally check it out. I'll put a card up here against the Phantom 4 Pro and the Mavic Air. And a lot of people said in the comments that they would absolutely prefer the Air's footage versus the Pro's footage. So that speaks volumes of how cool this drone actually is. Photos, it takes amazing photos as well. And the gimbal system on this drone is sort of like the Spark, but just a little bit different. I like the lens system. It makes it easier to put a ND filter on this drone this time around. But it's a little bit more sturdy. I think this is a little less finicky than the Mavic Pro. You do have this handy dandy gimbal guard. You just sort of just clip it in here and it's really easy to put on. One button and you're done. I think this is the best gimbal guard that DJI has ever created, and I would totally welcome this guard on any of their other products. Please, DJI, make this your new gimbal guard standard. Let's talk about battery life, because that's a big one when you're flying a drone. 21 minutes is the rated flight time. I can tell you I've only ever achieved max 17 minutes. Again, a lot of that's going to depend on the elements in your area and how you're flying, wind, etc. And 17 minutes was really my max best flight. So not bad, but just not like good compared to the Mavic Pro. So definitely pick yourself up some spare batteries. Sensors, this thing's got them, and it's got a lot of them for this little drone. It's probably the smartest drone DJI has right now. You have 2 front-facing vision sensors, 2 rear-facing vision sensors, 2 downward-facing, and then of course the camera counts as one as well. So get a lot of sensors, a lot of tech. Super smart. Now I'm not going to demo any of the flight modes or even talk about them because they're just not interesting to my genre of tech. I typically like to fly manually. The one thing I do like to use is the dynamic track. I like that it can follow me. That is, or the active track. Oh, I just said dynamic track. Active track is what DJI calls their tracking software, and I enjoy it. I love to like run at things because this thing is like all the way jumping out of things, and that is cool. If I had to say that there are some things that I don't like about this drone, oh, and there's a few of them. Let's start off with the most annoying thing. This is probably the most annoying thing about this drone. And you're probably saying, well, what is that, Ken? Well, that is a SD card reader. Why is it so recessed in there, DJI? I do not grow my nails that long. You need a freaking werewolf to get that out of there. The other fault or design thing I could wish it was different is where the antennas were positioned. They're like right here, and well, I can just see this breaking off. Like, how many times have you ever had a really rough landing and your landing gear took the brunt of the force? Well, your antenna is in the landing gear, so don't break those. Otherwise, this drone is going to be inoperable. Really not a lot of complaints, not a lot of negatives. I would say that this is not a prosumer type of drone. If you were looking this for a commercial purpose, it's just not going to be for you. The fact that I can take these little joysticks off and just throw it away, or not throw it away, but throw it in a bag and not have to worry about them breaking or anything, or buying an additional accessory to hold it, that's cool. Amateur that wants to take great photos and video on a vacation, or wants to take this on all of his trips, if you're a jet setter, this is for you. This would be the drone that I would take if I was traveling the world. So yeah, lots to like about the Mavic Air. If you enjoyed this video and you're deciding to pick up the Mavic Air, consider using one of my affiliate links down at the bottom. It's a really super simple and easy way to help support my channel. And another thing you can do is drop it a like if you enjoyed this video. I'm Original Dobo, and this was supposed to be a short video, but it ended up being a long video. So reminding you, stay original, and I'll see you in the next one.